Hey, welcome back to Susie's Kitchen. Okay, so you may think, because I'm a registered dietitian, that I'll never eat bacon. But we do eat bacon sometimes. We just eat a little bit. I don't usually eat it with eggs and things like that, but I might put a little bacon in something. So here I'm just cooking it down, and I'm going to let it get nice and crispy. Okay, so I've just chopped up the whole pound. Now I'm only going to use a little bit of it, but I'll put the rest of it in the freezer in little baggies. And then I can just use it in something when I need to, and it cooks right up and it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to my onion. I'm making red cabbage with a little bit of honey and some vinegar. So it's sort of like a sweet and sour cabbage, and everybody loves it. My kids especially love it. So I'm just getting my onion, cutting my onion. I'm using a big onion. I think I'm going to use the whole thing because the onion I use the large ones because they're sweeter. I learned that when I worked in a restaurant. I always thought the small ones would be sweeter because they're small, but they're the really strong ones that make you cry. Alright, so I'm just going to cut it in half. And then, let me just give this a little stir. Try it down a little. Alright. So I'm just going to cut this fairly thin. You don't have to get crazy, and we love onions. So if you don't always love onions, I guess you could leave it out, but I don't think it would be the same. Now, this is a big knife, but I'm trying not to get my fingers. Alright, now there's half of it. Try to curl your fingers over a little so you don't get them. I'm not the most graceful chopper in the world, but I get the job done. Alright, so now there's one little, whoops, come on, your little thing. Alright, one little piece over here too. Put that one too. Alright, so now this is the red cabbage, just like a green cabbage. Okay, I peel off the outer leaves because they're just kind of been sitting around and they're not as good as the inner leaves. Okay, so now you can see it's pretty good everywhere. If you have any leaves that are kind of not great. Now I'm cutting this probably not towards you because that's the way that I'm just cutting off the end there. Then I cut it in half, and then I just take that core out here. So I just go like that and like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to slice this thinly. And then what I'll do is I'll just cut it in half there so that it's bite-sized. And then I'm just going to finish up the rest of it. Alright, so this is nice and crispy. So I'm just going to take it out with a slotted spoon. This is one of the best tools that I love. So it's got, I'm just letting the grease come out here, and I'm going to put it right onto my paper towel that I already had ready. So one of the things when you're cooking is it's very helpful to be prepared for everything because it makes it a lot faster and easier if you're organized. Alright, and we'll get the rest of that out. But I wanted to show you something else here too. So one of the things that I have here is my grocery list, okay, from my shopping trip. You see I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday there's nothing because I don't usually cook on Friday. But you can see that I have all my dinners. I've moved some of them around already because I realized that maybe I was going somewhere, or maybe my husband was going to be cooking, which is kind of a new thing. It's actually very cool. So we're going to go back to the bacon. Alright, as you see, I've got all the bacon out. I put the bacon grease in this container that I just save. I usually save a few containers under the sink to put my grease in. Then I can just put the lid on and stick it in the trash. So now I have my pan that's back on. I left a little bit. You can see There's really not that much in there. I poured it all off and it just left a little bacon fat residue in here because I don't want it to be really oily. All right, so now I'm going to go get my red cabbage that I finished cutting it, and I'm putting it in the pan here. And my onions. Actually have a few more here. There we go. The burner was still a little warm, so I'm just turning it back on. Because with an electric burner, it kind of works that way. Alright, so I'm just going to let that cook down a little bit. And you'll see it when it's, I'm going to let it cook down, and I think what I usually do is I put a lid on it so that some of the steam that comes out of the water that comes out of the vegetables creates steam. So then it can kind of cook down and it wilts. Alright, I've taken some of the bacon out that I'm going to use in the cabbage, and then I'm going to take this bacon, while it's cooling, I need to put it somewhere so that nobody eats it because they smell it. So I'm going to my secret hiding place. Okay, so I've had it on high and I just turned it down to medium. I had it on high for a little bit because I wanted to really get it going. But you can see already how it's starting to cook down. It's probably been so far maybe 5 to 7 minutes. So I put it down on medium, high to medium, and I'm just going to put the lid back on. It's probably going to take maybe another 5 or 7 minutes. All right, it's looking pretty good. So I've got it cooked down. I don't really want it to get mushy. I don't like it too cooked. So I think I'm going to end this here. Now, red cabbage is really a good vegetable. It's high in fiber and antioxidants, including anthocyanins, which is responsible for the color of it. So it's really good for you. Now, I'm putting in here some unfiltered raw apple cider vinegar, which actually I'll put here. I'll show you. You can get different brands. Like, I know a lot of people use Bragg brand, but this is the one I happen to get at my store. One of the things about vinegar is it is pasteurized usually. So this is about 1/4 cup, which is about 4 tablespoons. But the vinegar, when they pasteurize it, it kills all the enzymes that are in there. Now I'm also putting in about a teaspoon or 2, maybe 3. Let's just do 3 and see. Okay, and stir that around. Now the vinegar, raw vinegar, is very good when you have a cold. Sometimes people get bronchitis. Now, I'm not telling you not to see a doctor. You definitely want to see a doctor if you think it's not going away or if you have a problem with that sort of thing. But it's very good. Now I'm putting in a little bit of salt. This is just kosher salt that I keep around my kitchen. And I'm going to put a little pepper in too, but I need my hands to do that. So I'm going to just put that in a minute. Now this is pretty much finished. And I'm going to try to figure out how to post the recipe. I'm getting better each time I do a video. I'm learning more about how to do it. Alright, so next time we'll see you on Subi's Kitchen. I forgot, I didn't put the bacon in. It's right here. Alright, and I put the pepper in the meantime. There we go. Thanks, enjoy.